Hello guys, it's Candyman here, and today we're reacting to Sofia Vergara being interviewed by Kevin Hart in the show Heart to Heart. And in this clip, she's discussing how she discovered the power of self-branding in business. So yeah, let's just go ahead and watch.
It's one thing to make the money, but it's another thing to be smart with the money. Where do the ideas come from to start these businesses? I mean, like for you to go and do the line. I remember when there was conversation about your line and your line being available in Kmart, which I thought was genius, right? I was like, holy shit, to understand how big the world is, to understand that middle America is the best part of America because those are the most people like responding. What was it that made you say, I want to go in this direction and this is what I'm going to focus on? Well,
Hold on, let's talk about what Kevin Hart said because in this part, he was basically saying how Sofia Vergara targeted a market, which was in this case the middle America, and that's what you do in marketing. You have a target market. The worst thing that you can do is saying, "I'm for everyone." You should have a niche or like a target market so that you would know who to please. Because in this world, you can't please everyone, so you basically have to have a niche or like people that you're targeting or like your audience. So that's very important in branding. So yeah.
You know what? That was even way before Modern Family.
Okay.
So in the Latin market, I had my job at
Specifically, she's saying the Latin market. All right.
Vision, but at that time in the 90s, I was making money, but it wasn't really like, like mansion money or Corvette money, no. It was, money to survive and to, save for my son's college education and all that. It was okay. But I always wanted more, I always wanted to create something for me, for my son, for my family. I went from Colombia from a lot of problems to living in the United States. I wanted to take care of all of them. So I wanted to make money. I love money.
Who doesn't love money?
Okay.
And then, so I started making calendars. The only thing that I could sell was really myself.
Okay.
At that time, because I was young and fresh, I started doing like calendars. Like January, February, all that.
What, dude? I'm sorry. January. Do January again.
January, February.
It's the same pose, just right to left. You didn't really change.
Kevin Hart is so witty. He's very fast-witted.
Yes, I just want to let you.
So one of those, and I did really good.
Okay. The calendars ended up being a big success.
Yeah, it was a big success.
Okay.
And so I started realizing, I am the product, and I can sell, myself. It sounds horrible.
No, it
to
doesn't.
say it
You're talking about your likeness.
yeah.
Yeah, let's pause that for a second because she said that she feels horrible about it. Decades ago, I remember that being a debate in an online forum, and I think it's still a debate whether you can brand a person or not. And there was a stance of you cannot brand people because, of course, people are beyond brands. And when you call something a brand, it's best if that brand is usually defined by 3 or 4 words so that it's easier to identify for your target market. And of course, a person is beyond that. A person can be a happy person on one day, or it can be an angry person the next day. So of course, a person is more than a brand. But what we're discovering day in and day out, especially nowadays, is that yes, a person can be beyond the brand, but it doesn't stop us from branding a person only to a specific group of market. We're not saying that person is equivalent to the brand, but to a specific audience or to a specific market, that person can be a brand. So let's just go ahead and watch it further.
Yes,
And at the end of the day, realizing your worth and realizing the value in your likeness sometimes is was overlooked by a lot of people in the business. So
Yes.
you catching this is dope as hell. So what started out as calendars then
became more and more stuff because, for example, I knew that to be able also, I always had a very good chemistry with girls, like
Okay.
with women's fans, and they would always, since I'm young, come to me when they would meet me for a picture or something. It's like, oh, what perfume are you wearing? Oh, with what do you wash your hair? Oh, with what is that lipstick?
Again, going back to the target market, she says she's discovering how she identifies with a specific group of people, which is the young women.
is this outfit? And so
or women in
it's
general.
The
always
light
it's
bulb
like
started to
they're
go off.
always asking me. So I'm like, that's why I always wanted to create all this like. I mean, I wanted to be like. I mean, I wish I was like some kind of like Martha Stewart of the Latin,
You
or you know,
you
it's like
you
that
are
was
though.
like always my idea, my dream. I mean, I cannot even compare.
But you,
Um,
but you, but you are like you. Granted, Martha's success is her success, but you're talking about somebody that's really thriving in the business of commerce, like creating products, selling product,
yeah.
and successfully selling more product and constantly building. Well, you are. So you don't have to say like I want to try. I think that's the dopest thing about your road to monumental success is that it compounded past the actress. And acting isn't going to get us to the crazy place of wealth. That's one tier. It's tapping into the things that
Yes.
you've done and that you did.
But for example, I think now when I started, well, Modern Family finished 3 years ago, and I did it for 11 years. So, I mean, 14 years ago, that not as many actresses had, other businesses. They were
Yes.
just actresses.
Mm-hmm.
You could see one or two selling something, but it was not, like that. And because I was coming from the Latin market, when I got the film with Modern Family, I mean, I knew I could, be a person for commercials, for
Mm-hmm.
example. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, you, what I thought that I could bring to the table to someone was, for example, if you hire me, you in one day of shooting, you get it in Spanish, you get
Ah.
it in English.
Yes. Okay.
So why hire Kevin Hart that can only speak English
Hold on.
when you can hire Sofia Vergara
What the
in one
fuck is
day?
happening,
Do
Sophia?
it in Spanish and in English.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
but you understand.
well, I do, but I don't feel like you had to use me as an example of what not to hire.
Oh,
By
you
the
here,
way,
Will.
All right. Although as funny as it may seem, what Sofia Vergara is basically talking about is what we call a differentiator, or what makes you different, or what makes you stand out from other brands. Because of course, there would be other beautiful actresses out there, but she's saying her differentiator is that she's bilingual. She can speak Spanish to target the Latin America, but she can also speak English to target general America. And yeah, that's also very crucial to know what makes you stand out.
What's am I going to use?
well, I clearly speak both languages.
Also, before I forget, she was also talking about how her brand has also evolved. So, starting from calendars to now, booking more and more shoots because she gets to discover her brand further.
Yeah.
So that's the one mistake that you've made. We don't have to get into that.
All right. So, what I really wanted to point out here is that when we look at actors and celebrities, we often look at their lives as something very different from ours, and we can only live vicariously through them. However, they are just humans too, and like an example of this clip, how Sofia Vergara started out not as a famous actor or actress before she discovered the power of branding. And branding used to be for products and services, but now we're applying branding to people, so to celebrities and actors. But we can also brand ourselves as employees, or as businessmen, as freelancers, because now more and more, especially in this digital age, we should use the power of branding. Jeff Bezos basically defined branding as your industry reputation, or what people say about you when you leave the room. So you need to be able to harness that by first identifying your target market, and second, your differentiator, what makes you different from your peers or from your competitors, right? Like when you're applying for a job, what can make you stand out, what can make you different, or to your target market. Your target market is of course not the whole of America, but to your colleagues, to your bosses, to your management. How do you want to be viewed? To your clients, how do you want to be perceived as compared to your competitors, right? That, so something like that. So basically, what I just really wanted to say is that we can take powerful lessons from the lives of actors and celebrities, instead of just looking at them as something that we can admire from far away, and this is a clear example.